Okay, we are 1941. We got a 15-minute game. Let's see if we could get 6 ELO points from Atulaz from Vietnam. We're going to open up with D4. He goes E6. Okay, we're just going to go E3. Nice and easy. So he goes D5. We're just going to develop our bishop, try to play the Stonewall, get the structure. Trying not to waste too much time on the early moves, because I'm sure I'll want it later. And I'm always happy to see E6. Okay, so he does the exact same moves as me. I'm going to play F4, so he can't play E5. I guess he could copy me. That's super lame. Hopefully he doesn't do that. He's already copied me enough, so if he could deviate, that would be nice. Okay, good. He just plays a normal move. I'm going to make sure his knight can't jump in here by playing knight d2. And so far, I haven't needed to really think, which is nice. Nice change of pace. He plays c5. I'll play c3 and support the pawn. And this is pretty normal stuff. Sometimes they'll bring the knight out, sometimes they'll castle, sometimes they'll take, sometimes they'll push. So he brings the knight out. Normal. I'm going to play my normal move and knight f3. And my other normal moves are castle, knight e5. So that's my plan. That's my plan. He goes bishop d7. Not afraid of that move. Not afraid of that move. I'm going to castle. And now I'm pretty much set up after I go knight e5. He castles. I throw in knight e5. And now this is like the standard. This is the starting position, really. So now the idea is queen f3, g4, g5. Like in the other Stonewall games on this playlist. Similar stuff. I'm liking it so far. What's up, Club? What is the drop? I think I saw chess.com say you get maybe like a free membership or something. I don't know. I don't really know. This is the Stonewall setup that I'm doing. It's what I play as white recently. So he goes rook c8, which I'm fine with. I think I'm just gonna carry along my plan. What else do I have? So I think queen f3, just quickly looking at alternatives like, yeah, that's solid. Let's just do it. And I like my position. Center's locked. So now I could attack the king. Yeah, so my position's good. I don't like his setup. I think it lets me get what I want. Now I'm going to take actually with the e-pawn. That way his knight doesn't have to be 4 square. His rook doesn't have the open file. And his bishop doesn't have access to the f4 pawn. And it opens up my dark square bishop so I can sack it and get a mate on the board. So let me take. E takes d. And now my pieces are primed to attack him. And that is what I'm going to do. I'm up on the clock, so it seems like this guy was just playing natural moves, but doesn't actually know any ideas. Okay, so he's retreating his knight, so he can definitely go this way with it and go on the defense because he sees what's coming. Okay, that's fair. So I think my plan is g4, launching a pawn storm, stopping knight f5, and so let's say g4, knight g6. g4, knight g6, g5. This knight has to go to e8. That can't be bad, right? What other moves do I have? Let's say so here, knight g6. He does have this square, but that doesn't really do anything because if I attack it, he kind of just loses it. I'm going to go g4, see what he does. f5 isn't ever really a move you want to play unless it wins something on the spot. If he takes and you take, then this knight's hanging and the pawn is hanging. No, you got to keep the center closed because now my king is super open. So I got to keep it closed and only open up the king side. Otherwise, I'm going to find myself in trouble. Got to keep this diagonal open. This doesn't actually threaten anything. It's just a blocking move. I almost even want to play this, but it's not supported immediately. So I could do something like queen g3 and then play it. I could also... Okay. What? Bishop c6. X-raying the queen. So what's his idea? It's his idea to plant a knight here. And then if I take it, but he still loses a pawn. And I take with the bishop, even though my arrows are all wrong. So he jumps in, I take, he has to take, I take with the bishop. Also good for me. Maybe he wants to trade, plant a knight. I don't mind that. I could just go g5 here. I kind of like g5. And then maybe I'll have some sacrifice here. I'm going to go g5. If his knight moves, does this check, takes, check, back, rook lift, rook over, king over. Well, the knight's here, so it's blocking the escape square. So maybe he has to sack the pawn here to not. Otherwise, I might sack, right? So here, check, here, check, back. The best follow-up. Okay, now I definitely have to calculate this. And if I just go here first, he can always do these types of things. So the sack, followed by followed by rook up. What's his defensive move? And then he goes, let's say, I don't know, f6, rook over. If he takes, check, king here. Check. This definitely works, but I can't see it. That's the problem. But it definitely has to be a good move. Takes, takes. Here, here. That doesn't change anything. And if I start with this, he can just plant his knight in here. Here, here. There has to be something. There has to be something, right? Lift my rook up. I have no idea what his best move is. That's the problem. So like if he goes knight here and I double. I don't know if this works. I can't see the clear follow-up, but I just have a feeling this has to work. But it could be completely wrong. I don't even get two pawns, right? Like he could always sack a piece back, I feel like. It might just be better to stay solid. I want to do it so bad though. It might just be losing, that's the problem. So queen here, king here. I push, threatening mate in one. Then he just takes. Takes, takes, takes. There's no follow-up. And if I just go here, threatening mate, he stops it in a variety of ways, right? What if he just goes knight here? Takes, takes. Could threaten mate this way, and if he goes knight here, then maybe just bring my knight in, my other knight in. I really wanted a sack. One more time, ideas. One more time. His f pawn is weak a little. Rook a lift. Knight here. Rook over. Knight here. Take the knight. Forget it. I'm just gonna do it. I don't care if I lose the game. I don't care. I'm gonna try it. After 5 minutes of calculating nothing, after 5 minutes of just spending on one move, I'm gonna do it. And I'll let him figure out the defense, although there's probably so many. F6, F5, knight somewhere. But something about my intuition says that this might work. I may have needed another piece though. Like I may have needed a knight, this knight. But we're gonna see. So I'm thinking here. Let's rook a lift and bring it over. And just battering ram him and just go for it. Maybe I can use this pawn and this knight if he lets me. This knight's nice because it puts some pressure here and here. But he can take it at any time. So I have one pawn. I just gave up a bishop. A very important bishop, the defender of all of my light squares. He plays this. I thought on this I could just go like anywhere. And now his knight doesn't have this square as well as it weakens these squares. So if I ever can get in a move like this, that also could be an idea. He hits my queen. And if I go here, he attacks. No, that loosens this pawn. Now, this one looks more restrictive of his position. But this one gives me escape routes. But this one also pressures this pawn in case he moves the f. So I'm going to go here. It also cuts off his king's dark square escape. Oh, I see. He wants to go knight in here. Oh, no. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. Because now my queen can't double. Oh. Yeah, that's in that case, this can't be good. This cannot be good. So here, here. Yeah, there's no way to make this good. That sucks. So I guess I have to go here. But that takes away the knight square from my knight. Okay, yeah, that was really bad. In that case, let's just go here and see what he does. I still have ways to trick him. I still have ways to attack him maybe. If I can get a knight here. So like rook over. This knight here. Move the queen. This knight here. And then put that knight there. Who knows? Maybe it's not so easy for him, even though it completely ruins my doubling idea. Maybe it's still not easy for black. Yeah, maybe bishop takes was a little little hasty. I could have tried to induce weakness with this or this. So now he takes my knight. He starts trading. I'm going to take this way. He plants his knight here, which is a defensive piece. Fine. Now what to do? If I put my rook here, I can never double. But if I launch this pawn up the board, that might be good for me. But what else do I even have? I don't think I have really other ideas than to just full send at this point. I'm down a piece. So let's full send. And now I need to move this rook and get the knight in the game somehow. I got to see what square I want. I want the knight here and here. So how do I get to this square? Wait, so he moves his queen to this side of the board, which pressures this stuff. Okay. I guess I can't ask for anything more. Oh, I see. He's threatening to take my e5 pawn. How rude. So I gotta move my king to where? Where do I move my king? This kind of walks into checks. This takes away the rook square. This looks the safest, but takes away squares. I'm gonna go here, so I can move my rook over in one move. Yeah, you could do stuff like move the rook back one, but I'm gonna be moving this rook so I can get it in on the attack. I don't want it to be bogged down to protect this pawn. Moving the king solves all problems permanently. Creates new ones. But I don't see how he uses them. So I'm down this light squared bishop, but it's not doing anything yet. So for one moment in time, until he gets his bishop in the game, I have to try to use all of my pieces to do something fast. So I do want to play rook over. I do want to play knight somewhere. I want to play bishop out. I want to play rook over. But I need to be faster than that. And I need to double on the H file, not the F file. Although at this point, if I can sack my rook and get like a perpetual, I would take the draw. Unless I think I have a winning attack, but because that I don't know about that piece sack. It was a good try, and I still like that I tried it, but let's see how this plays out. Maybe he doesn't know what to do. That could be helpful for me. I do have a lot of dark square control, and as long as he can't push this, maybe he can't really free up his position. Maybe he should just try to run. right now and then win, basically. Because if his king is here, he just wins, I feel like. But his king is here, so. Okay, he's thinking. That's good. Close the Crunchyroll tab. No, man. I'm gonna watch another episode after this. Okay, he's giving me some time back on the clock, which is nice. Now, basically just 1 minute down. If I had 30 seconds here and he had, I get a knight, I get another knight. He gets a rook. I go knight f1, he moves his queen. I go bishop f4, followed by knight g3 and rook e1. And the material is he has a bishop and two rooks. I have he has a bishop and two rooks. He's up in exchange there. I don't have a choice, do I? Oh no, he has this as well. I don't think I have a choice though, because my queen's hit. If I move the queen, he takes my rook. So I completely walked into this. So now he has this again, but now I have this. Check, king somewhere. See if my queen was here now, that'd be awesome. Oh, please blunder, guy. Please blunder. Atula, I believe in your blundering skills. And now this, the bishop takes. So maybe he just messed up. I hope he messed up. And if he takes this way, that can't be good for him, right? Although I don't really have the attack. I have the check. So if he just takes here, he gives this check, but I thought I could just take. And if he takes... No way. What? This doesn't this completely let me off the hook? I, he has a check here, winning my rook. So that's a no to the off the hook question. But I don't think it's as bad as it may seem. I don't want to block with the rook, because then my knight's pinned. So I'm going to block with the, or I can move my, I want to block with the bishop so it gets away from this attack as well. So if he takes this, he's again up a piece, 3 points. The problem with this check is that my rook is pinned afterwards. And I'm completely toast. So what kind of desperation moves do I have? I have h5. Desperation move. It doesn't do anything though. So h5, he takes the knight. I take. Check. He moves the king somewhere. h5. He takes the rook. I take the bishop. I don't know. Let's go for last resort. Uh, Knight, queen, clearance combo. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going for. Going to sack this pawn or just open up the file, have my knight here, and just try to put a queen on the h file. If I give away a piece, I don't care. The problem is I can't just ignore it and take. I have to spend a whole move, and it can't be this move because you lose the queen. So you have to take with the queen, and then, but then he just swings a rook over, and you lose the game. So this is just a series of unsound attacks. This is advanced hope chess. But now I know. See, now it's in my brain. So next time I have this position, I'm going to be like, you don't have everything you need, buddy. Greek gift sacrifices work when knight can come to g5. You didn't have that, but you tried it anyway. And now you're down an entire army. And this check doesn't do anything but put his king in the corner. Although, that might actually be super here to open up the checkmate. The thing is, on any knight move, he can put his rook here. So after check, king here, this square is covered. But isn't there a knight square that can do something? Like, does this knight square? It covers it again. So check, rook takes, pawn takes. No, that doesn't work. If I go check, and he takes my knight, and I go check, and he goes here, I can try to promote. If I go check first and he goes in the corner, he's hitting my queen, and my knight can't move with check. So what else? This check, if he takes this way, I give a check, and where if he goes here, I push, but then he moves this rook, but then here. Alright, I'm gonna lose, so let's go for knight e8 check. It's either completely brilliant or just a guy who's losing and has no other legal moves. So yeah, check here. Oh, I see. Check, this pawn is hanging, so let's just say he goes here. Now if I go here, threatening mate. Wait, here, here, check, here, mate. Here, here, takes, rook over, check. That's good for me. Here, straight back, check, takes, check, takes, check, here, check, here, check. That's at least perpetual. If I go here, and he goes like here, I don't know which one is which one first? One of them could be losing and one winning. If I go here, here, how does he get his queen? If he moves the rook, I could just promote. And if he goes in the corner, wait, this threatens mate. How does he stop it? He goes here, but then I push. I don't know which one is correct. I'm gonna go with this one. If I win, that would be awesome. And this guy would completely have misplayed it. Maybe I just pulled a rabbit, as they say. He does have this check, which I did not consider. Not sure what that does after this, though. I'm threatening to checkmate him in 2 moves. If he moves the rook, I'll have gotten another queen, which makes the material even, which is insane. This is kind of a weird move to play, though. I think it works, though. Might be his best move other than queen check or queen. Okay, so he queen checks, and if I go here, I don't know what his follow-up is, but I will take the 10 seconds. I will take the 10 seconds. Let's swindle this guy. Let us swindle this guy. How do you stop this? Here, here, you can't double yet. Here, push. No, maybe this is his only move. And then here. And if king over, do I have a better move? No. I have get a queen, he goes here. And then I have check. Oh, that's checkmate. That's checkmate. Okay, but now I didn't calculate this one. This one also creates the escape square. And I don't have the checkmate. And my queen will be here, which is such an ugly square. Man, he found the only move. That's so annoying. I have no way to stop that. Material, he's still up material. I have 2 queens, he's up material. There's no shot. Okay, I gotta move it back and with access. Actually, I'm gonna create an immediate threat on this pawn. Although this looked good because of more mobility. This queen's kind of stuck, but helps with back rank stuff. Wow, look at this imbalance. This is crazy. What kind of game is this? Okay, so the 1 point he's up, let's say this pawn, totally doesn't matter in a position like this. I have 2 queens. That creates lots of tactics. And he has 2 rooks and a queen. That creates lots of tactics. Look at my king, super exposed. There's exposure this way. This way, he just pushes a pawn. He just pushes a pawn. I have 16 seconds, so I have to think, move. I need to take that pawn. I don't want to trade 2 queens, though. But whatever. He can go here. gives me this check. So takes, check. What's happening here? If after this rook here, I can take here. My bishop's pinned. I need my bishop to be active if I'm going to fight these two rooks. And my clock. So I got to think. I also have this, which threatens mate in 1. And after this, then I can take the pawn. And if he pushes, I can take the rook. I can't calculate with 1 second on my clock, so hopefully this doesn't let him promote after a certain variation. On this, do I have something better? I just take here. And actually, if he takes here, here. Oof. Maybe he can take my bishop. Even now, takes behind. I'll have to find a perpetual. Yeah, maybe I should have just taken the pawn immediately. Although that still allows these moves, so I don't know. They both look bad for me. But he's down to 20 seconds too, so hopefully he's just like really bad at calculating. Like way worse than me. Like level 5. Maybe he gets to like number 5 on Puzzle Rush and loses. Okay, now he's down to 10 seconds. Mate in 1 threat. Let's go. He does take the bishop, but with 10 seconds, I'm not sure. As long as like he doesn't protect these pawns somehow. Okay, so check. No, I don't want his king to run up the board. This is a free pawn followed by this. I feel like he needed me to take this pawn and then put his rook here so he can have the aggressive pawn. Because now he can't defend this. And after I take this, now it's looking a lot better for me than before. So I'm going to protect this pawn. And now that we both have 40 seconds, I'm up material somehow. I don't even know how that happened. And if I win this game, it's because of my brilliant, unsound bishop sacrifice, which causes 1800s psychological, practical problems. So he attacks this other pawn. I don't think I can lose. That's the good thing. I think I'm going to set a trap by going here, because he loses his rook if he takes the pawn. So I'm going to set a trap, get my king closer, because I'm going to need it to defend my pawns while my queen tries to rampage. The only thing is, everything's protected as is. He doesn't technically need to undefend anything, so I have to find a way to create another threat or destabilize the rook. So now I can bring my king in, which looks pretty effective, threatening checks that push his king back and give my queen more options. So let's do that. And once I can get his king like back rank, I can put my king maybe in a better square. He has 2 seconds. I feel like with this time, he's not going to be able to defend against what I'm going to do to him. Queens are too versatile. So just throw in a check. And now I was thinking this check, forcing his king back. But now I was thinking this check to just really completely paralyze him. And now I'm going to get my king around to get it in the game. Oh, actually he pinned himself because he's such a nice guy. This hits the rook. Have to move the rook. That blunders it, and moving it here blunders other stuff. Awesome. Cool. He made it easy for me. I don't have to like bring my king to here and checkmate him or something. I could just do this. Double attack. Oh no, I can't take this pawn because that I'm in a pin. I need to move my king first. Wait, what? Really, guy? Just to just to completely demoralize him, I'm gonna blockade the pawn with my king. That's what he gets for not resigning, right? Watch. Boom. Not going anywhere. Good move, good move. This is almost like a checkmate, but it's not. But we'll go here anyway. And then we'll get another queen for good measure. I don't want to any stalemate tricks. His king actually was looking kind of funny there. So let's just get another queen and ask this guy, are you going to resign yet? I can't believe I just won that game. Um, should we checkmate him? Should we troll him? Let's troll him. Actually, this video is being recorded, so I don't want to waste all your guys' time. So we'll just checkmate him. GG's. Oh man, that was a rough game. That was a rough game, but you see, if you don't give up, you can trick 1800s who have a -5 advantage against you. Oh, apparently I had some tactic at some. I missed a mate in one. Oh wait, no, this is when I'm trolling, right? Okay, this is past it. No, this is not when I'm trolling. Oh my god. That's why I said this was the only defensive move, and I forgot all about it. You could just go here. I've been saying this the whole time, and when he did this, I'm like, I completely forgot of why I said this was the only move. I missed a mate in one. That's so pathetic. Okay, but I won. I'm just happy I outsmarted this guy. So let's go to the beginning. Let's start the game review. Yeah, Queen H8, I did miss that. I did. I failed Puzzle Rush 5 apparently. Oh man, that's embarrassing. But listen, it happens, right? Okay. This says I'm going to end up losing a pawn. How so? Well, yeah, if you take with the E pawn, take with the C pawn, you don't lose a pawn. I'll look at that move by move. Doesn't hurt much, but doesn't help. Queen H3 looks nice. Similar. Doesn't hurt, doesn't help. Early rook lift looks kind of cool. I like that. This move is okay. Hold on, hint. Oh, yeah, you could do stuff like this, but it's not in the spirit of the Stonewall. Okay, so this definitely does not work. And now I go from better to losing. A more sane approach would be to just create threats, and once again, you're still better. Another sane approach is here, threatening the same thing, but disallowing the knight f5, so it's better. Great move. The only move for equality. So they're saying, so I was looking at this as well. What? So this is best, but h6 is great? That makes no sense. Another great. They're both great. More greatness. We're just gonna ignore the mate in one that I missed. Another great move. I was actually unsure about this. So, okay, now let me do the move by move. So aside from my bishop sack, which was unsound, and missing mate in one, played a great game. Oh, I see. 95 first prevents any. Oh yeah. That's good. That's a good idea. If you castle first and he takes, you can't take this way yet because you have to sack a pawn in that line. And so if you castle and he takes, you have to take this way, which is not ideal because you do want to open up your bishop by taking this way. And it gives him knight attacks, which is super annoying. Um, but by going here first, his bishop no longer has contact. So upon a trade, you can take this way. Got it. That's a super helpful thing. Now the engine doesn't explain all that. You have to understand that on your own. That's the hard part. Okay, so I played here. Rook f3. Rook lifts are nice too. So now I like my position because I have attacking prospects. Now it says g4 is best. Didn't it say g4 was inaccurate a second ago? Oh no, that was g5. I take it back. There we go. Okay. So instead of g5, let's see, queen h3, sensible. Queen e2, not sensible. a4, it is a move in these positions, but we just want to spend all our tempo on the king side. Bishop takes, pawn takes, knight e4. So yeah, they did want him to sack a pawn here. Although I'm pretty open. So they wanted like a line like this. And so I'm up a pawn here. But they're saying black's completely fine here. Especially with my king exposed. So they're saying if they just undermine this pawn, queen's pressure here, knight can come in here. They're saying he's fine. I don't mind this for white either. I mean, I guess rook here, bishop somewhere. This rook protects this. Maybe try to do something on the f file. It's probably even, but I am up a pawn, so I wouldn't mind that. I'm not worse, right? And then I do this, which was insane. Followed up by the completely wrong move because g6 comes with tempo. And again, g6 is his only crushing move, which is not hard to see. So I retreat, he takes, and now I'm just still completely losing. This is an obvious move. And so ideas here are knight f1, yes, getting pieces in the game, h4, rook f2. So h4 makes a lot of sense, very human. Follow-ups, rook f2, which is, I think that's what Kleb said. Queen h3 and queen f4. Queen f4 protects the pawn, queen h3 lets him take the pawn. And what are they going to do, just push? What am I missing? Yeah, this looks horrible. I don't understand that move. But so anyway, king g2, another bad move. There are no good moves. They're all losing. So knight takes e5 is brilliant. Now when I saw that he did this, I thought his follow-up was this. But they're saying his next move was also correct. What? I was going to sack. He was going to take, in my calculation anyway. And what was my move here? I think I said I was going to go like knight here, something like this. Or knight here. No, I said knight f1 is what I think I said. But this doesn't work because that allows his bishop to come in. If I go here, queen e2, king up. This just looks so bad. I can't go there, so he could get in more pieces. It just looks tragic. But he didn't do this, and they're saying d4 is fine. But I thought that knight e4 was pretty good, and I didn't know what to do if he took this pawn. They're saying his moves are take the pawn or put a rook here. But he did this, which to me didn't make any sense. Once I could take with the bishop and didn't have to sack a rook. And if you took the pawn, yeah, you just take back because there's nothing else to do, and you just lose the game. He did this, followed by this, but I thought this gave me some hope of tricking him with this knight here. He's still crushing me. They like h5 first. I thought if I went h5 first, he can take the knight. I'm forced to take. And then I thought he could probably do something against, like that, because I need my queen here. I figured that takes so much time, and then the pawn here. I figured there's no way that I have time for that. So I did this first, but apparently so he's still completely crushing. So why doesn't he win? They're saying his best move is this. No one is going to play that. Oh, I see. The rook is pinned. Okay. People would play that. I take that back. That's such a weird move, though. Your king's about to be hit, and you don't even take this way. You take with the queen. It makes sense because this is coming. Winning the game on the spot. But he does this first. And then takes with the queen. But now this gives me chances. And my best and only move to get to the draw is knight e8. So basically, I got to this position. 2 rooks against bishop knight. He's up pawns and everything. And I found the only move, knight e8. Hangs by both rooks. Okay, it makes up for missing mate in 1, because this actually requires some clever thinking. Boom. And he takes it. I can't believe that king h7, leaving the knight here, is somehow better than taking the knight. And that's because if you take the knight, I get the setup I want with queen and pawn with the check. Whereas if you move the king out of both checks, the knight actually isn't even needed. You only need the queen and the pawn, or the queen and the knight. You don't need all 3. And so taking the knight with any rook gives me my draw mechanism. So king h7. I guess here naturally, if you give a check and he takes, the rook is hanging, but I don't know. And if you go here, he takes your queen. So you don't have a choice in this position. You either have to take or go here, which threatens mate in 1. Problem with that is he takes your knight. Oof. Okay, so he also has a queen trade on hand. So you're forced to take with the check. But he didn't do that. He took my knight. That's a hard move to find. Okay, I was saying I don't know which one. Maybe one's winning, maybe one's losing. They're both completely even, so. And they both, in my calculations, looked like they got the draw, so I'm glad that was right. So basically he has one move. King F8. All three of these lead to mate. He finds it. This bum. I find my only move. Now he only has one move to hold the draw. This one. I go here. Only move to hold a draw. So we're all finding just only move after only move. Now I didn't know what to do for him. I saw that this actually runs into checkmate after this. And then when he moved here, I didn't even made him in one, which is sad that, but he missed it too, which is just as sad. So the only way to hold the draw for him is to go queen here, sack, deflecting my queen, and now he's playing two rooks and a pawn, a pass pawn against the queen. And yeah, and then I can even lose. Well, I have this, so okay, they're saying draw. But he blundered mate in one, but because I'm a nice guy, I didn't take it. I said, let me give him another chance. But I'm better here because I automatically get a queen. But it's super tricky. So I do go here. This is the right idea. Not going here. So cool. How bad is... Okay. They're both close. This move I didn't like because it doesn't do anything. So my move was second best. I failed to find the best move with 23 seconds, which is actually to double hit this rook, threatening a mate in one. Unstoppable by the queen because the bishop covers. If he tries to, I don't know, do this, maybe even bring in the bishop. Who knows? That does look very strong. Instead, I did this, assuming he would queen trade, which I think he kind of has to, because you can't leave two queens on the board. That's way too powerful, way too tricky. This immediately gets mated, so he goes for the trade. Um, and now I'm just better. And okay, but the idea here, oh, I see you in a rook. That's pretty clever. But my move's fine. I don't need to get fancy. I was considering taking, but then I said he can put a rook either here or here. And this pin is just really strong, I feel like. I guess if he goes here, I'd move my king somewhere. And what does he have? I guess, hold on, this. I don't know how I'm going to stop his pawn if he does this construction. Super tricky. So like if he goes here now, maybe I have to perpetual him. Yeah, I have to perpetual him. So I didn't take the pawn. I thought this. And I thought in this position, if he did something like this, again, I was considering what happens if to take the pawn. I thought he could sack and go behind his pawn. And then I would once again have to look for a perpetual. That's what I calculated. I did it anyway. It says yes, he should have gone here. To which I can probably just... He's kind of paralyzed. He can't really move either of these rooks. So I do have time to just bring my bishop back. That's tricky though. Probably end up in a draw. Unless he takes. Unless he takes and goes here. This is just so bad. It's so bad now because I can just stop this pawn. And this pawn's not dangerous. This pawn's dangerous. I took this pawn because I figured there's no downside. I was going to go here, but there's no downside to taking this because once he goes here, I'll just take it next. And there's nothing he can do, so I really have all the time in the world. No, my technique is perfectly fine here. Fine. And then he hung a rook. So, okay. Good game. Good game. Good game. We got our 6 points. Came back from a blunder, baby, against an 1830. We're going to keep going next time. That's it, YouTube. We'll reach 1950 next game.